Oh, hi. This is CGC unboxing video number 5. And I didn't pull any fast ones or give any tips in this video. This is just straight high quality comic books being graded and coming back. And we're going to see how we did. So stay tuned. Hold on to your Mjolnirs. And let's get nerdy in here.
Nerd, nerd, nerd. Nerdfarious.
Thanks for joining us for another CGC video. I'm Stark.
Great White.
Ken.
And we're going to go through these comic books. We're going to grade them and tell you what we think they're going to be. And this is before they're pressed and graded by CGC. And in the same video, you're going to see what they came back as from the CGC grading company. For this first book, we have Uncanny XMen number 207. And this is an iconic cover by John Romita Jr.
Love me some John Romita Jr. back then. Not so much now, but I gave it a 9.0.
Also, huge X-Men fan, Romita fan. I didn't like this very much. I think I saw a lot more on there than you guys did. I only had this at a 7.
Wow. I had it as a 9.0 as well.
Okay, off we go. Here we start. Uncanny XMen number 207, a 9.0 with the white pages.
I don't have much to say about that because I got it right on the money. So,
Yeah, I'm surprised I was so harsh on this, being this is one of my favorite titles. I had this as a 7.0. I can't explain it to you.
I nailed it as well with a 9.0. Okay, now we have Batman number 609. This is the first appearance of Thomas Elliot, who is later revealed to be Hush.
I gave this a 9.4. Nothing really serious defects involved.
I felt the same way. I went 9.2.
I gave it a 9.6. So we're all hopefully in the ballpark.
Yeah.
Batman 609, 9.8.
That is awesome.
I had graded that 9.4. It had some, I believe it had some spine dents, some pretty heavy spine dents in it when I was first looking at it. That obviously came out in a press.
Yeah, I had it as a 9.2. I thought it was nice. I wasn't sure it was 9.8 nice. But, yeah, beautiful cover. I absolutely love the cover.
Yeah, I had it as a 9.6. This cover, yeah, and it's the first appearance of Tommy Elliott, who ends up being Hush. This is awesome. I'm really jazzed that it came back at 9.8. Detective number 525. This has the first full appearance of Jason Todd and the third full appearance of Killer Croc.
I gave this a 9.6, actually. I think the only real defect is a bend in the spine that's going to probably press out.
I saw a couple little spine ticks. I still put it at 9.2.
And I gave it a 9.4.
I'm optimistic.
Okay, continuing on, we have Detective Comics 525, 9.6 with off-white to white pages.
I think I've been on this batch. I started just whatever I thought it was. I added a grade to it because I got this one on the money as well.
Yeah, I had this as a 9.2, so yeah, I'm not surprised that it come back a little bit higher.
Yeah, I had it as a 9.4, so I missed by just one.
Idiots.
Stupid. This is Detective Comics number 871, and it's an interesting book. It's the first appearance of James Gordon Jr. as an adult, and he is later, of course, revealed to be a serial killer.
That's unfortunate. I gave this a 9.2.
Yeah, I thought it was a really nice looking book. I gave it 9.2 as well.
I'm optimistic. I gave it a 9.6.
Okay.
Detective Comics number 871, 9.8.
So I had graded this at a 9.2. It was a little bit, I had to grade a little bit lower than they hit it out at, mostly because of the dents that were in the spine.
Yeah, I ran this one off as a 9.2. not surprised that it come back to 9.8. Again, another super sharp cover. Book should present really well.
Yeah, I had it as a 9.6, so I was just barely off. Here we have Batman number 635. It's the first appearance of Jason Todd as the Red Hood.
I gave this a 9.6 only for the non-color breaking crease on the front cover.
I didn't like it quite as much. I thought there was looked like a little, I don't know what to call it, color rub on the spine. I could be mistaken, and it may press out just fine, but I only give it a 9.0.
I gave it a 9.4. I know what you're saying. There's some things that kind of in that gray area, but I think it'll be a good one at 9.4.
Batman number 635, 7.5.
Well, I had this as a 9.6. So what did the graders notes say, Bradley?
Yeah, I had it as a 9.4 as well. And yeah, the graders notes are horrible. They say large bend, bottom of front cover, light bend, right top of whole book, very small crease, right top of back cover. This dude that graded this was not having a good day.
No.
Yeah, I had it as a 9.0. I thought everybody thought this was going to be a much better book than it turned out to be.
Those grader notes are not super perceivable, so I don't know what to say about that. Was this an important book for you?
Yeah, this is a real important book because it is the first appearance of Jason Todd as the Red Hood, and it is not a cheap book to purchase as a 9.8, and I thought I had one, or at least a high grade. And those sons of a gun, I'm going to have to go buy it now because I'm not going to try and submit it again.
That's a tough break. It really is. I think that book's better than a 7.5. At least, in the shell. Maybe if we had it back out, raw. But that seems like they tried to offset some of their higher scores somewhere else. that doesn't seem accurate to me, but
I'm going to cry about this later. Okay, we have Daredevil number 188. This is an iconic Frank Miller cover.
I gave this a 9.2 for the spine ticks.
Huh. Love the book, love the cover, love Frank Miller. I think it's going to be an 8.5.
I'm optimistic it's going to be a 9.4.
Continuing on with Daredevil 188, 9.6 with white pages.
I graded this 9.2. I'm glad that it came out higher, obviously. The difference in the nines is much different than going from 7 to a 7.5, so it's much more minuscule. So this is probably, I would probably saw an extra bend or something.
Yeah, I had it as an 8.5. I'm glad it come back better. This is one of my favorite Daredevil covers. I absolutely love this cover. Congratulations. I'm glad I was way wrong yet again.
Yeah, I graded as a 9.4, so I was just off by 1. Okay, here we have Captain America number 1 from 2005. This is the Ed Brubaker run, and if you haven't read this run of Captain America, a lot of stuff was taken from the Ed Brubaker run for the Captain America movies with the Winter Soldier and all that. And in this is the first cameo appearance of Winter Soldier.
I gave this a 9.4 for the minor spine creases.
I saw the same spine creases. I hope it presses out. I only had it as a 9.0.
I'm guessing 9.6 because I'm going high on all these. I don't know why. We'll see what happens.
You might be right. Captain America number 1, 9.8, also with white pages.
Nice!
Nice, good catch.
I wish it was the first Captain America number 1.
That'd be nice.
Yeah, at 9.8. So I graded this as 9.4. I saw a couple extra things that probably pressed out or,
Yeah, I had it as a 9.0. There again, given my track record, I'm not surprised that it's much higher than what I had it graded at. Yeah, not one of my favorite books, but I'm happy for you.
Yeah, I had it as a 9.6, so I was off by one again. Okay, Daredevil number 184. This is the first team up of the Punisher and Daredevil.
I gave this an 8.0 for bends and creases and a slight pin mark on the front cover.
Just as a side note, Ken put that pin mark on there just 10 minutes ago on accident.
You can hardly see it. I'm a little bit more optimistic about this, maybe partially because I'm a Daredevil fan, and I think this is going to press really well. I went 9.2.
Without the pin mark, I'd say 9.8. No, I'm joking. If this was a rough book to begin with, I gave it an 8.5.
Daredevil 184, 9.6. Off-white to white pages.
This is the one, Ken.
So, this one here, 184, I graded as an 8.0. I graded it because of the ink mark on the cover that I made. So, on accident. So, I discounted it for that purpose, but I'm glad that they either didn't see it or it wasn't significant enough for it to be downgraded.
Yeah, even with the superfluous ink, I had it as a 9.2. I thought it was a nice book. You know, in that middle of that Frank Miller run, another Daredevil cover that I absolutely love.
Yeah, I thought it was a great book until the ink dropped, the ink pen dropped. But so then I graded it lower too with an 8.5. But lucky for me, I don't know if they didn't see it or if they didn't really think that was any big deal. So 9.6, I'm super jazzed. Awesome.
Yeah, they might have just been Frank Miller fans. They were like, let's run it. That could have
been the absolute only problem with it was that ink, and that's the only thing keeping it from a 9.8.
Man, don't do that to me.
Probably not the first book I've wrecked of yours. So.
Sorry. Okay, we have Captain America number 333. This is the first appearance of John Walker as the fourth Captain America, formerly Super Patriot.
I always liked this cover. I gave it a 9.2 just for the spine ticks that are seen.
Nope. Same sort of thing. I only went 9.0 though.
I agree with Ken. I went 9.2.
Captain America 333, 9.4 with white pages.
I grade this one 9.2. You know, it's not 9.2 to 9.4 is not a significant change. That would probably make some newsstand collector happy and people who like the UPC barcodes.
Yeah, I was close. I had a 9.0, so to a 9.4, it'd be a single item tick, that I thought was there and was not. So, yeah, no, another nice solid score.
Yeah, I had a 9.2. Like I said, I'm okay with books 9.4 and above. That's just for me. I know some people collect they don't care about the grade so much. I've seen people.
Well, if you think about I was always pretty OCD kind of like when I was a kid as a collector, but I was also okay like before you could get any comic you wanted off of like eBay, before there was an eBay, you didn't see books very often. Like you didn't see Silver Age Spider-Mans in our area at all. So if you came across one, you certainly would buy it if you were a Spider-Man collector because you would never see another one.
Yeah, that's true.
So those were fewer and far between. So, but as new books came out, I was always wanted the best possible. I would go through the rack and pick the best copy that I could find. But so a lot of people are just like to collect to read, and that's cool. And then some people are, once they start putting numbers on it, people want the best one. So you want, whatever. I'm kind of when I'm looking at like a raw book for one of the runs that I collect, 9.2 or above, I'm happy with. I don't like spine ticks though.
Yeah.
At all.
How about you, Great White?
I flip-flop on it. Yes, obviously I would love to have the best possible copy that either I can afford or that I can find. Because like Ken said, when we were growing up, it was really hard, other than new books, to find anything old. And if you did, it looked like it'd been wadded up in somebody's pocket. But no, I do collect to read, but I try to take care of what I've got. You know, rebagging, reboarding, getting the best possible copy. Yeah, I don't really worry about it too much. I'm not doing it. I'm not rolling comic books. It's not an investment or, supplementing my income. It's just because I love the genre and I love comic books.
For myself, what I like to do, I try to collect the entire run. I want to have a copy to read. But then for the key books, I try and get a high quality book, high grade, and I'll usually try and get it in a slab from CGC, or I send it in. But just those only on the keys. But yeah.
I never would have a graded book that I didn't have one that I could read.
Nice. And our last book here is Captain America number 25, Death of Captain America.
I gave it a 9.4. There's nothing really too wrong with it.
Yeah, I like this a lot. I think it's going to clean up well. I went 9.6.
Wow. I liked it. I thought it was going to be a 9.4.
Okay, last one. Captain America 25, a 9.8.
I graded this a 9.4. So, I mean, it looks like it came out higher than I had it. Well, that's good. So, no complaints there.
Yeah, well, a few times I absolutely loved it. For some reason, I had it as a 9.6, 9.8. It's all right there. Not particularly fond of the cover or anything, but it is a nice looking book, very clean.
Yeah, I was along the same lines as Kenney here with a 9.4. So I'm happy with the 9.8. Okay, now for our final results. So Kenney was, he got 2 books right on the money.
That's good.
You did the best. I got 1, and Great White, unfortunately.
Big bupkis.
And we graded a total of 10 books. And so starting with Kenney, he was off by 23.
Jeez.
And so that came to an average of 2.3. But if we were all high on that 7.5 one that we biffed. So
yeah.
Overall, though, you were only negative 11 as far as, if you were positive or negative on your results. So, not bad. Just off by 2.3. Great White here. He was off by 28 for all 10 books. That's a 2.8. So that's not bad. Under 3 on average. And then as far as the negatives, he was a negative 21. So he was the most conservative on his grading. And then on myself, I was off by 17, which brings me to, I was off by 1.7 on my grading. And then if you take into account, I was a negative 7 overall for my grading because we biffed that one. We were all way above, so that brought my score up. So anyway, negative 7. So I was slightly conservative on the scores.
Well, if we've learned nothing else, that if I'm giving you a raw book and I say it's an 8.5, it's probably gold. Because I'm going to sell it to you at the 8.5 price. You can send it to CGC and turn a nice little profit. That's what I'm taking from all of this.
All right, so thanks for joining us for that video. We've got more in store for you, so like and subscribe.
Like and subscribe.
Woo-wee, I got some great books back, didn't I? That's what I'm talking about. So hey, if you don't want to miss any more of these CGC unboxing videos, you make sure you like and subscribe. Do yourself a favor, do us a favor. We appreciate it. And we'll see you next time.